Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Friday Friday, end of the week edition of the Computer America Show, a pre-show, actually. It's all about Bond, both hours. Ralph Bond is here with us. Yeah, not the other Bond. Talking about all the cool things that he finds here on the show. It turns out to be, it's always a fun program with Ralph, and we enjoy all the different things in the discussion. And also, we have our social media winner of the week. We'll be announcing that person as well because it's Friday. So sit back and relax. Enjoy 2 hours of Computer America. What do you think of our new logo, Ralph? You see it there?
1 minute until showtime.
You can see in the
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Good.
Did Ben create it?
No, we actually we had a contest.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
got a lot of good entries, but we kind of settled on this one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
I actually have a picture. I just throw it up here of all the different logos that were submitted.
we should do that. You can show that too. Yeah.
Right. No, wait. Oh, I might not be showing my screen. There we go.
Oh, you know, Ben, your background right now makes me further anticipate The Force Awakens. I can't wait.
All right, 20 seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it is Friday. Yep. Another week of broadcasting excellence in the cylindrical container. And as we wind up the week, we are, of course, well into November. And it is being Friday, we're going to have our social media winner of the week. We'll announce that name. Yep. Some lucky person's going to win that Logitech Anywhere MX2 wireless mouse, valued at $80. So we'll be calling that name out. If you didn't get your entry in, well, too bad. You missed it this week, So I know, but don't worry. Just get your entry in next week, and you'll have time. So you may be calling your name out. Okay, so
got those people whipped.
Yeah, we do. We have it set. So anyhow, now before I give out the numbers, let's get our guest on and get him in on all the fun stuff that we're doing here. Okay, so yeah, he's back. Bond is back, and we've got him. It's all Bond on today's show. He's Bond. Not James Bond, not Spectre, but Ralph Bond. Ralph Bond is the correspondent for the Computer America Show. Now, he's the author of Family Computer Fun, Digital Ideas Using Your Photos, Movies, and Music by Q Publishing. He's also the co-author of The PC Dad's Guide to Becoming a Computer Smart Parent by Dell Publishing. Ralph was Intel's Communication Education Manager for more than 10 years, and for nearly the past 8 years, he's been part of Autodesk's communications team. Hey, Ralph, welcome to Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing great, and we usually start off talking about movies, and I'm really getting excited about the Star Wars movie next month. They better not disappoint me.
I thought you were going to talk about the new Bond film.
Oh, yeah, that, and talk about Spectre. The only thing I would share with James Bond, the only thing, is I'm pale enough to be a Spectre. So, I mean, that's how I relate to that.
Well, I saw the movie. I thought it was really good. And there were 3 Bond films with Daniel Craig in James Bond before, and this was the 4th. And this is sort of the culmination of the first three movies, because the first one starts out just before he becomes a 00, if you recall. It actually started off in black and white, the film, and then it goes into color. But basically, you find out how he becomes a 00, and then you meet some of the bad guys, and all the bad guys kind of tie into, they were all members of Spectre, and you finally meet Blofeld. With the scar and everything, you find out how he gets the scar. Christopher Waltz plays the role of Ernst Blofeld, and I'm not going to try to give any spoilers.
I think you just gave a ton.
No, but the thing is, you find out more about how it all came about and how he came out to be a 00 and the bad guys and so at the end of the picture, there was some speculation that Daniel Craig wouldn't do any more Bond because sort of like everything gets tied up with a nice little bow. But I hadn't heard, but I was sitting with my wife she was watching it with me in the theater, and I said, look, it's going to say Bond will be back at the end. Bond will be back. It's the last thing. Jane will return. Bond will return. It always says at the very last, at the end of the credits, it says that, and sure enough, it said it. And I heard there was an interview with Daniel Craig, and he said he was definitely going to be doing more movies, at least 2 more Bond, before he gets too old to be Bond. So there will.
I mean, I actually heard that quite a few people didn't enjoy it. They said that it was just, I don't know, not action packed. Like they said that Skyfall was miles better.
Ben is always the Antichrist.
I've never seen it. I've never seen Spectre.
Yeah. Well, then I saw it.
Wait. Did you just compare yourself to Christ? I mean, if I'm the Antichrist, someone here has to be the Christ.
You haven't heard of Craig Christ? Okay.
Ah, Craig Christ.
Okay.
That's a good song.
It was. So yeah.
Now you've done it.
I thought that there was plenty.
Blasphemy America. We're gonna hit them all today.
Plenty of action. The scenes were incredible. They must have had tens of thousands of extras in many of the scenes. It was phenomenal how they were able to do that.
That's CGI, right?
No, it was not CGI. I know CGI. That was not. It was the real thing, and they had some incredible scenes in that movie, and I thought it was excellent. And so my opinion is that any Bond fan should go and see this film.
I'm obliged.
Yeah, no, you should. Have you seen the other? Did you see the other one, Skyfall?
Oh yeah. I was thinking about Skyfall particularly.
Yeah.
I'll never forget eternally great bit where he's on the motorcycle riding on top of those buildings. It was in Istanbul, right? It just blows your mind. I mean, talk about stunt work. Wow.
Well, they got some more top of building stunt work. The buildings are collapsing. I mean, it's just amazing stuff.
Oh yeah. Speaking of collapsing buildings, I watched a total suspend reality, get out the popcorn, adult beverages, and just have fun. San Andreas. Did you see that?
Yes.
For disaster film.
With the Rock. With the Rock.
Totally predictable. Yeah, totally silly in many ways, but I thought it was a blast. I mean, it just was like go the entire time.
Yeah, well, Dwayne Johnson is in that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know which movie you were going to refer to because you said turn your brain off, but Andreas, that is like the one that you have to turn your brain off.
Oh yeah, but it's so fun. I mean, it's very fun. I loved it.
I've always enjoyed all of his films. The Scorpion King and all the things that.
The Scorpion King.
The first one.
I liked all of his movies.
We're really making Ben unhappy today, Craig.
Yeah, I know you have to turn your brain off, but it's enjoyable stuff. He's done some serious roles too. Which are, and then he'll do some serious / little tongue-in-cheek movies that he'll do too, which are also.
He's in the same vein as Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's all action, and he's really great in those action roles, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he is. The one that he did with Christopher Walken, I can't think of the name of it, but where he has to go and retrieve the son of this bad guy.
The Tooth Fairy.
No, not the Tooth Fairy. That was different. That's whole tongue in cheek. No, but that one was very, very good too. I like most all of his movies. Anyhow,
no, but before we get too much further, Star Wars. Star Wars is coming out. Star Wars, December 25th release, I believe.
Yeah.
Or I thought it was the 17th.
Is
What
17th
date?
or 25th?
Well, I don't know. There's our trivia question right off the top. We better find out. It's important.
So what has you so amped about it?
I don't know. I just. Here's why I'm amped up.
18th. My bad. You're
I'm,
right.
I am so hoping they make a film vastly better than those prequels that we had to endure. That were, to me, were basically very disappointing, and so I'm hoping that this is going to bring back some of the fun of the first two films anyway, the
Right.
original first two films.
The buzz about that is that it is. By the way, it's called The Rundown. That was the movie with Dwayne Johnson.
Ah,
That's it.
Um,
But yeah, that was with Christopher Walken. No, but yeah, I mean, episodes 1, 2, and 3, they get so much flack, but you know, they kind of have their highlights. But I'm surprised, you know, working for Autodesk, like, you know, back in the day, back in 2001, I think is when they came out, like 99 and 2001. I mean, the CGI was, you know, next level for.
oh,
you
it
know,
was impressive. But Ben, my contention about the prequels you're referring to is that they relied way too much on effects and diminished story quality, for me at least anyway, as compared to the original 1975 and the subsequent films, which I thought had really great, compelling stories, except for the Ewoks.
I'm gonna.
So
Did you, Ralph? Did you see the original movie? The you know, I guess it was episode 4. In the movie theaters. Did you go
Oh
to?
gosh, yes, absolutely.
I was
Oh
saying,
yeah.
yeah. I did too. And I remember after seeing it, like a few weeks after, and when it became the phenomenon that it became, and then I
Yeah.
remember lines watching lines around the
Oh
block.
my, absolutely, yeah. I'll never forget the opening scene when the battleship, you know, comes over the screen, right? And the whole theater just gasped. Everyone was just, and of course when Darth Vader first makes his
He
entrance, oh yeah, I mean you just whoa, back off.
Yeah, I remember because I went to see it several times afterwards in the movie.
Yeah,
But it was
you nerd.
yeah, it was a phenomenon. It appealed to everybody. And
it
Right,
was
and Disney. This is of course the first
Right.
Star Wars by Disney after Disney purchased the intellectual property. But I mean, they're obviously hyping it a lot. They have a new Star Wars game coming out. They have commercials every 2 seconds
Oh,
for
man,
this thing. I mean, they and the trailers that they've been releasing. The trailers are great. I mean, you watch them, and sometimes trailers for big movies they'll put in the best parts and they'll spoil a lot of it just in the trailers. But I mean, you watch any of these trailers, and you know you don't get you see people, you see action, but you don't get any storyline. You get disjointed, hobbled together images, and that's great because you know, hey, nothing is being ruined in just by watching the trailers. They just make you more excited to see the actual movie. So
yeah.
I think they're doing a good job too. I'm really excited for it.
I
Yeah.
finally, in the last trailer, I finally got to see. I was wondering what was happening with Carrie Fisher, you know, the Princess Leia. I thought, where is she? And I finally saw there's a scene where she's hugging Han Solo, you know,
Right.
Harrison Ford. So she's in it too. So I guess all the original.
Still no news of Mark Hamill though.
Yeah, have not seen anything with Mark Hamill, but I got to be in there. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, he's on the credits. He's in there as an actor.
yeah. Well, but it takes place 30 years after the. I think it's 30 years after the. So the characters are all 30 years older, and there it is. Well, okay. So much for our movie stuff. Now, if you have a comment or a question for anything we're talking about, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 347-884-8881. 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. There's if you don't want to call and you want to still ask a question, go to any page at computeramerica.com, which is the internet home of our broadcast, Computer America. Any page on the upper right-hand corner will say submit a question. Just click that link. You go to our question submission page. You type in your question or comment. Click the submit button, and Ben and I will see you instantly and you know, and ask it for you. The other thing that we do here on the show is we broadcast the live video stream. Although we are primarily a radio broadcast, we do have live video that you can watch, and that's very cool because then you can see myself, you can see Ben, you can see Ralph. Ben has the technology to display websites in the background, videos, movies, so you can see all of the things that we're talking about on today's show. Another really nice way you can interact with us is if you go to, again, computeramerica.com, and you'll see the show. There's a description of it. Everything you click on that will take you to the description page. We have links there to the audio feed as well as the video feed there. And in addition to that, in the text you'll see at the very bottom, you'll see the word cheat notes right after the description of what we're doing with Ralph and today's topics. If you click on the cheat notes link, that'll open a Google Docs document where you can see everything that we're going to be talking about today. And that's really the nice thing, because you can see pictures of the items, descriptions of the items, and most importantly, links to the articles where where these items and topics appear. So you can see everything, some great photos, and it's just another way for you to listen along and participate along here with us at Computer America. Just lots of different ways that you can interact with the program and kind of follow along. So that's all there. Of course, we're live now, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. So if you're live, the phone will get you through. If you're listening to this via archive, or if you want to know how to listen to archives, on any page at computeramerica.com, we have our archives page where you can see all the places that archive the show, which is the Blog Talk Radio Network. Apple's iTunes carries our audio tracks. We have our own YouTube channel, which will take you there so you can see all the different shows. We are also heard now on Stitcher and SoundCloud. Both now carry the audio. And again, I'm blocking the name, Ben. What is the one that just took over?
I don't think they're up yet, so really no point in keep mentioning them. But Deezer, when it finally launches.
When it finally launches. Okay, so all the different ways you can interact with us here on Computer America. And so we're going to start off the show by talking about this really, really slick-looking camera. This is something you would see in Star Wars. I mean, really, it's now the Lytro camera was unique in that it was the only camera that I know of that if you took a picture and it was blurry or something, after you took the picture, after the fact, you could still focus and bring things into sharp, clear image after you took the pictures. All cameras, you can't do that. Once you take the photo, you got to take it again if it's blurry. Not so with the Lytro camera. You can do this, and it uses some pretty amazing technology. My only bone to pick was the camera is so small. It's like an inch, rectangular inch by 3 inches cube, but still an amazing camera. Well, Lytro obviously hasn't been sitting around because now they've introduced the world's first light field camera for virtual reality. So this is.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about this.
Yeah, this is really a story from PETA, P-E-T-A Pixel, and a story by Michael Zhang. And oh, by the way, friends, Craig is always so nice and suggests that you go get the cheat notes or the show notes. I order you to do so. That's how you're going to really enjoy the show, and you're going to get to see the pictures that we're all just drooling over right now, this product. So again, this story comes from PETA Pixel. The story headline was Lytro Emerge is the world's first light field camera. We're going to explain that for virtual reality, and the beautiful picture. And you're right. This looks like one of those things in the second Star Wars movie way back when, that second one. Yeah. That remember they have those things that look almost like this that were going across. They were deployed over the snowfield.
Right. Yeah, they had them on Hoth, the little drones.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. So that's what it reminds me of. Anyway, on the 5th of November, Lytro announced Emerge, a new camera that may revolutionize how virtual reality content is captured. The company calls it, now they claim it's the world's first professional light field solution for cinematic VR. And I pulled up a little definition. I'm sorry, folks, I didn't have it in the show notes here, but a little definition of light field definition. So it says, light field is defined as all the light rays at every point in space, traveling in every direction. It is essentially, get this, 4D data, because every point in three-dimensional space is also attributed to a direction which equals the fourth dimension. The concept of the light field was invented in the 1990s to solve common problems in computer graphics and vision. So that's kind of interesting, and that was a big education for me.
And the light field technology is what I was referring to, that that allows you to focus after the picture's been taken.
Yeah, yeah. And in fact, I think this is a reference in the story here. It says, well, Lytro's Illum, I-L-L-U-M camera captures light field data from one direction for still photos. The new ball-shaped emerge camera captures light field volume or light field data from every single direction at once. And friends, again, get the show notes because you can see the pictures here and just imagine this kind of product. You can really see what it looks like and what it can do. So the technology sounds like science fiction. It goes on to say, using the light field data, you can create virtual views of a location from any point in the space, facing any direction with any field of view. This just blows my mind. Goes on to say, capture virtual reality video while using the Emerge, and your viewers will be able to move around inside the 3D space while they're watching that video. What? Lytro, isn't that great? Lytro calls it, I love this, Lytro calls it 6 degrees of freedom, which of course they have to turn into an acronym, the number 6, capital letter D, lowercase o, uppercase F, right? Got to have that. 6 degrees of freedom, and says that this is something that was previously only possible inside computer-generated experiences. So the first person kind of experiencing computer. Now they're saying you can take a film, as it were, and replicate that experience so viewers can move around. It just blows my mind. More wonderful pictures. There's one of the product on a tripod that gives you a real sense of the size of the product, showing people walking by in London. Pretty cool.
It's pretty big, too. Yeah, it's not a little pocket thing.
No, definitely not. So what I guess they're doing here, Craig and Ben, is they probably embedded a whole bunch of the littler camera in this thing to create this kind of sphere device. So it goes on to say, in addition to the camera, the Emerge also comes with software solutions for creating cinematic VR. There's a server for storage and processing, a light field editor program for integrating existing visual effect tools, for example, Nuke, and a player that allows the created content to be viewed through VR headsets and platforms. So the coming together of this camera, this light field capability, and then marry that up with playback on VR headsets, wow. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then pricing and availability haven't been officially announced yet, but the camera should be available early next year for purchase and rental. The system will not be cheap. They didn't specify a cost range. You can currently apply for access to a prototype system. There's a link here in the show notes on the Lytro website. Now, go to their website and check it all out. But I just thought this was, wow, you know, we got the virtual headsets. Now we got this capture capability and cinematic. It's going to just transform things once again.
And again, it's interesting. They took their technology, which is the light field data that allows the camera, that the still camera allows you to focus after you've taken a picture, and took that technology and incorporated that process into this 3D camera, which just kind of expanded upon it, and gave them all these additional abilities that you can't get with a standard camera. That technology allows you to do stuff after the fact, and that's why you can change perspectives and do that again after it was all shot. You can do with that. So this is an amazing and obviously not cheap. This thing's got to be.
No, it comes with its own little built-in server rack. Like it has like a standalone. I think there was a picture of it here, but yeah, it comes with its own standalone server rack. And if you're watching the video portion of the show again, when you do that, we have a clip up of a person actually viewing some footage filmed by the system, and you can kind of see how the person's head is kind of moving back and forward, and it looks like, you know, the camera guy was doing this weird jerky motion, you know, forward, back, change your view, but really that's just the person with the virtual reality able to, you know, kind of look up, look down, look over things, and like, you know, really as a viewer, you know, instead of looking at a picture or even a flat movie, you're able to, you know, move around in the space and get different angles of the same thing that you're watching.
Yeah, it's remarkable, and you just can stop and imagine the size of these video files.
Oh, right.
It must be gargantuan. So to your point, Ben, not only the cost and the gear needed to capture this stuff and render it and edit it and all this sort of stuff, and even the playback must be pretty spectacular size. Data, big data.
Yeah, the whole panoramic, you know, 360-degree virtual reality view thing, that's been happening for a little while, but the software that goes into kind of stitching photos together has been around, for a little while. But this is a step beyond. This is taking not just video, but taking this weird, three-dimensional video and taking the software, and it's just patching all of this together. The file sizes, you're right, must be huge.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh, I can't even. It would be, the server farm people will love this.
And Craig, this is why you keep saying, well, who's going to need those 10 terabyte hard drives? Who needs that? People need those.
Yeah, well, it will, especially if you're doing things like this. No question about it. You'll need those super large capacities.
Now imagine this for a second, guys. Imagine a future movie theater where everyone's wearing goggles.
I was just thinking that.
And imagine you're at the front looking at the audience, and everybody's kind of doing their own thing, looking around, and involving themselves in the movie as they so desire. It would be very funny.
See, but that's also kind of cool because you could have, I'm sure a theater full of people would be one thing, but imagine just sitting down with, one or two other people, and then you actually are able to put avatars representing those people in the movie with you. So you could look over to your right and see a person standing right there next to you.
Yes, this could make things really weird.
Yeah, it's so futuristic in science fiction, but we see all the pieces here in front of us. It's just now being able to put them all together and having the hardware to run all this stuff, because this is very, very intense. But I mean, the pieces are there.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love this story.
Yeah, you're going to need a pretty much state-of-the-art computer to.
There we go. Found it. Finally. I've been searching this video forever for it.
Oh, there you go.
This is the little server rack and all the hardware and guts that come along with this thing.
That's something.
Yeah, it's a little 3-foot. For anyone not watching the video, it's about a 3-foot. Looks like a server rack, but has Lytro brand on the side, and it has six different high-capacity hard drives built in.
It's on wheels. And
it's on wheels. It's
so it's got to be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
very cool.
They say they didn't put a price on it, but I'm betting that if you have to ask, you're not going to afford it.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But regardless of whether it's for you or not, we want to bring this story to you again. It's stuff that. I mean, you might be able to afford like an Aston Martin, but you still want to know about it. And you want to see it.
This is all stuff that is for the creators of content, and the content, you don't have to pay for a ledger system to go make your own movie. No. People making movies are going to use this technology, and then hopefully soon, within the next year, I've been hearing so much about these virtual reality headsets, and a few have gone on the market, but they should be coming out in the droves in the next couple quarters. And when you have those virtual reality headsets sitting on your end table, then you're going to look for things to watch. And technology like this is going to give you the opportunity to watch, full feature movies all in virtual reality.
All right. So I don't know if we have time to begin this next story, and we'll probably come up against the bottom of the hour break. But we'll at least get it started.
Okay.
And this next story too, Pixelio looks like Pixelio turns your smartphone into a 3D scanner.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said Pixelio because I wasn't sure whether it was Pixel.io or Pixelio. I think Pixelio sounds more like fun to say, so we'll stick with that. So this is a story from 3Printer, so that's 3PRINTR.com. So 3Printers, another one of these 3D printing industry websites. Story by just simply identified as Doris. Okay, Doris. Anyway, UK-based company Smart 3D has developed and designed a new 3D scanning and photography device called Pixelio. And on October 22nd, their funding campaign is going to launch on Kickstarter, which of course has already happened. However, Smart 3D is already unveiled. They've already provided some details. So it says, way back on October the 2nd, they said that this product will turn your smartphone into a 3D scanner featuring a turntable. Now, this is why you need the show notes, people, because you're going to see the pictures and it'll all make sense. So 3D scanner featuring a turntable, but also enables you to capture 360-degree panoramic photos and time-lapse videos. With your smartphone attached to the universal rotating mount holder, and in combination with the free, here we go, Autodesk plug, free 123D Catch application by Autodesk, for example, 3D scans can be performed and exported as 3D models. Smart 3D has also patented a virtual finger technology to ensure the images will not blur as the phone moves around the object. I don't know why it would be called virtual finger, but I won't even go there. I don't know. Do you any guess there? But look at the picture, folks. If you got the show notes, you can see the turntable. And in the caption under the first photo says, due to its small size and weight, Pixelio can become a portable laboratory for 3D scanning and a mobile mini photo studio, explains the company. According to the company, this is the first of many innovative devices to come that perfectly complement one another. And the author of the story, Doris, said, "We are excited to hear more about Pixelio upon its Kickstarter launch." And the update there on the 30th was the launch happened, and then Smart 3D has also teamed up with 3D printer manufacturer Robo 3D, who will support the startup by bringing Pixelio to the market using their distribution channels. And so you can put in an early bid for the product at $119. I just thought it was really clever. Now you scroll down the show notes, you can see a wonderful image.
Yeah, exactly.
That shows the turntable, right, and shows a smartphone, shows you putting an object on the turntable. So you're not going to be putting really large things, but you can put objects on this, and you can get immediately understand the principle of how it will move around, taking picture after picture after picture, which then in turn gets stitched together using 123D Catch from Autodesk into a 3D model.
All right, well, we're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to continue on. We've got lots more coming up. This is the Computer America Show. We will be right back.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
He used to say he was the guy who put the ram in Ramada. Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time the Amperage Mighty Mike S smartphone shotgun. A mic doesn't have to be very good to perform better than the ones built into smartphones. Amperage sent their Mighty Mike S with a fairly good condenser mic element in a shotgun housing about half as long as a soda straw and with a 4-part headset plug out the bottom side. A shotgun mic puts air vents behind the mic elements, so sound pressure from the sides can cancel out the same sounds from the front, meaning a fairly directional sensitivity beam that can somewhat reject or reduce surrounding ambient noise. We tested it at short range and at arm's length, both on axis and off, to confirm that it works as expected. Bottom line, an Amperage Mighty Mic S helps a smartphone recorder communicate in noisy places. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Thank you, Marty Winston, for that News Tip Bulletin review. That will be the last time, well, unless you go back to the archives, that you will hear that particular one, as we'll be getting new ones next week, hopefully. But yeah, they only have about a week shelf time before they go bad, and we have to throw them out, or else, you know, fungus and all that kind of thing. You don't want that growing around here. So, with that said, we are doing both hours with Ralph Bond, always a fun show with him, as we go over the big tech stories. And yeah, we were just talking about Pixelio, and it's this 3D scanning device. I was watching the video. The video is very, very cool. It's this is, I guess, you know, maybe Ralph, you might have some more insight on this, but it's obviously a nice tool that will help more people, you know, maybe artists, maybe people who are just, you know, scanning for certain projects. Like, instead of having to take it into a specialty retail store and pay someone else to do it, which takes time, money, energy, all that kind of stuff. You know, one of these little things, which you know, at $119, not expensive at all. 3D printing is more and more becoming feasible, you know, just for the everyday people. Like, do you see 3D printing, you know, with devices like these, and you know, so you can create your own studios? Do you see more and more people just using 3D printing in their everyday lives?
Ultimately, maybe. And I think it still will be kind of it's still sort of a maker movement sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a specialty hobbyist sort of thing. So I think the potential's there, and you're right. This product that we were just talking about, this little turntable thing, and again, if you have disobeyed us, or if you're unable to go get the show notes right now, maybe you're driving in your car, okay, or whatever you're doing, we appreciate that. Let me just word picture what this thing is. We'll go back and look at the image that's in the show notes here. Think of a disc-like device, and Ben has got it up on his screen, and you place an object in the middle, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. So you have to think of it like, again, like a disc thing, like a turntable, and your camera or your smartphone is attached to it, and it goes around.
But the turntable doesn't turn. See, I think that's what's.
Oh, I get where you're going. Yeah.
The surface you put the object in the middle of the round disc area, like the center of the quote unquote turntable, but that doesn't turn. What happens is that the phone is on a little stand that's beneath it, and
like a shelf thing.
Right, and the shelf thing moves around the object. The camera moves, but the object does not. It doesn't rotate.
Yeah. That's absolutely right, and I think the captions are very helpful, because so it says step 1, choose an object you want to scan and place it in the center of Pixelio's plate,
right,
or what they call the turntable.
Yeah.
All right, and then number 2, you connect, and this is the part that I think is cool, guys. Connect Pixelio to any smartphone with the free applications. There's more than one, but for example, you can use the 123D Catch from Autodesk, my company. And then number 3, the rotating arm also works with GoPro cameras connected to Pixelio via Wi-Fi. Pretty cool. And then number 4, set the option on Pixelio and press the scan button on the device. And number 5, the arm starts to rotate, to your point, Craig. The arm starts to rotate, and the scanner triggers snapshots on your phone via Bluetooth 4.0 or the company's virtual finger technology, which is patented technology as well. So it's a very clever, very cute little device. I could see business possibilities here, guys. Maybe you're a dealer in antiques, or selling objects that are small enough to fit onto this, and you want to show people online what it looks like in a 3D experience. This could be a great tool for that kind of work as well.
Yeah. The only limitation that I see is the size of the platter, the disc itself.
Right.
You know, the object has to fit on that, and as long as it does. And I would say, how big would you say that is? I mean, the diameter, not the diameter.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the picture in the show notes, you see the one with the hero, the GoPro camera,
Right. Yeah.
and of course the picture with the smartphone. That'll give you. It's pretty small, actually. I would say what about maybe 5.5, 6
Well,
inches diameter.
to give everyone a completely useless means of measuring this, according to the video, it fits 4 cupcakes. So
you have 4 cupcakes on
It
there.
can hold 4 cupcakes. I
That's-
understand this.
that's
Now I
your-
can visualize it. There, see? Well, 4 cupcakes with plenty of room.
Yeah.
So
right. 4 roomy cupcakes, exactly. But yeah, no, it's what you're just saying about the 3D thing, and about the size limitations.
yeah.
This was, I guess, partially, just according to the photos that you have here in the article, it was partially kind of made. Yes, you can give people the 3D experience, and yes, you can just photograph things, but it's also meant to work in tandem, according to this picture here, with a MakerBot 3D printing
Right.
thing. So, hey, if you have, a 2-foot long object, that's not going to work in your 3D printed model anyways. So, it works nicely for the size constraints of the 3D printer.
Yeah, good point.
All right. So again, there it is, and you can see it or check it out. The Pixel.io or the Pixelio. And again, it doesn't move. It's stationary. The phone moves around it on the little slot for the tray for the camera that rotates around it. And it's $119 is the Kickstarter price. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So moving right along, again, Ralph Bond joining us here for both hours. We're doing these different news stories that Ralph finds for us. This one really made me sit up and notice. This next one. If you have been thinking about getting a smartwatch, but you don't want to give up on the watch that you already have. It's been comfortable. It's kind of the band is now conforms to your wrist, and you just like the way it works. You picked it up. Well, evidently, according to this story 3, there's a tiny disc that you can put onto your watch that will turn an analog watch into a smartwatch. How does that work?
Well, let's get right to the point. Very limited, but it'll give you some aspects
Okay.
of a smartphone. But I mean, in fairness, what I think caught my eye is just the clever thought. Somebody thought to themselves, how could I incorporate some of the things that you have in a smartwatch onto a traditional analog watch, or it could be a digital watch, just a wristband watch. How can I retrofit that kind of a device? Because maybe you've got a very expensive Rolex or something, and you're certainly not going to just throw that over the fence.
Yep.
And this is a story from The Verge, a story by Jacob Kastrenakes, Kastrenakes. Sorry, Jacob, for butchering your name. And this title is, this tiny disc turns analog watches into smartwatches, with a big qualifier, folks. So here's the story. Watch enthusiasts may not want to exchange their timeless timepieces for short-lived smartwatches. That's a good point, because technology obsoletes itself so fast. But a new product can help give their analog pieces some, and that's the key here, some of smartwatches' best tricks. The product, called Chronos, C-H-R-O-N-O-S, is a thin disc that sticks to the bottom of a watch and can vibrate and light up to alert you of notifications. Well, anything that vibrates or lights up is usually pretty appealing. And then the Chronos does fitness tracking too. It can also control a connected phone in basic ways, like declining calls or skipping ahead a track when listening to music. Chronos does notifications and activity tracking. Oh, that's a subhead that repeats itself. Chronos basically looks like a watch battery. It's just under 3 millimeters thin, and there's a rubber surface on one side that forms a suction against the bottom of the watch it's connected to, or the watch case.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a tiny flashing disc beneath a several hundred or several $1,000 watch isn't necessarily the most elegant solution in the world, but it's a neat option for people who are interested in smartwatches but don't want to give up what they're currently wearing. That's the key. The Chronos does add an appreciable thickness to the watch, setting it higher off your wrist, but it isn't particularly noticeable when placed beneath a larger model wristwatch.
Yeah.
The Chronos' main job is to alert the wearer of incoming notifications. It doesn't vibrate for every notification, however, instead asking wearers to set up every app and every contact who they want to receive notifications from. So this would require, unlike a real smartwatch, of course, you're going to have to go in there and say, I only want Mike and Susie and Johnny and Sally or whatever to activate my watch when they contact me or call me. Goes on to say each can be set with different vibration patterns. That's kind of interesting. So like you could have a really throbbing one if your wife is calling, or you could have a gentle one for your friends, whatever. The lights can also be turned off.
You missed the vibration patterns and different light colors.
Oh, and different light colors, right. You got it. The lights can also be turned off in case a person doesn't want their wrist flashing all the time. But Luke Fromowitz, Kronos' CTO, claims that this is actually something people are fond of, especially people with high-end watches. Well, you can't go wrong with vibration and lights. I mean, it's a universal appeal. He says they love it. They love the lights. Apparently, the lights make for a good conversation starter. Well, I suppose so. And it goes on to say what the Chronos can do is obviously very limited. That's the point I was making at the outset of the story. You can't read or reply to a text message, of course, but it still gets at the core of modern smartwatches, which is enough to make it a passable substitute. The device works with both iOS and Android, and it's going for up to, is being offered for pre-order today for $99 with shipment starting in the spring. I think it could be a useful solution for some situations. Again, when you have perhaps a very expensive watch or something that's very sentimental and you don't want to give it up, but you want some of those functions.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can see the color. You can have different colors. Red for your wife, or
red alert, red alert.
Yeah, exactly. And at least it gets your attention. No, then you know that to make a call or contact the person. I mean, it's a very clever solution.
I think it is. It's very clever. I mean, that's why I love the story. It may, limited things, but how clever. It's one of those things where you think, why didn't I think of this? It's such a clever, simple notion.
Yeah, and the fact that you have it attached to your, the watch, and there's a rubber surface you said on one side that forms a suction against the bottom of the watch, so you don't have to do any permanent adjustments to your delicate analog watch. It just attaches to it. It does or there's we have it attached as a big magnet. Just clicks to the bottom of your watch. Well, that might not be a good thing to do. So, but I think that again, if if you have a watch that you like and it's round, especially if you have a larger watch, this would fit nicely under it.
Yeah.
And again, $99. There you go. Okay.
It must appeal to all the to the hunting or the hunter-gatherer in all of us, where motion and lights will catch your attention.
Interesting.
So very primal, but high technology. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, this next story the holidays are upon us, and if you're thinking about, traveling or go to holiday spots in your neighborhood, well, there is a product out called Nextdoor, Holiday Cheer app, and it allows you to find the best holiday spots in your neighborhood. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is fun. And right off the top, I'll explain that this story actually was filed a year ago, but it popped up in my research under holiday applications, and I thought, even though it's a year old, I thought it's kind of fun, and it's still out there. This was a story filed originally on tech.co, and a story by Ann Dalb, D-L-A-B, or Dalab. And you can see the photo there of someone holding an iPhone. It kind of looks like a GPS map, but there's little symbols and so forth. So here's the story. It says, Nextdoor, the free and private social network used by 47,000 neighborhoods. Now remember, this was written a year ago, so it's probably larger now. Just launched a new holiday cheer map app. Now you can navigate the holiday season in your very own neighborhood. Nextdoor's Holiday Cheer Map is a social discovery tool that helps you find holiday attractions in your neighborhood that best suit your interests. You might be trying to scout out the best place to buy decorations and trees, the ice skating rink with the best party, a favorite holiday play performance, or places in your community that offer volunteer and charitable opportunities. So it's a pretty wide range of things, right? The information is sourced by your neighbors, so it's kind of a crowdsourcing kind of sort of thing. So you know that the information is coming from people who know the neighborhood best. Neighbors across the country are already adding their favorite spots to celebrate the season. This is the only place where you can find a holiday map curated in this way. Again, this story was written a year ago, so maybe there's something else out there now too, but once again, I thought it was pretty cool. It says check out the app at the Apple App Store and the Android Google Marketplace, so for both platforms. And I just thought it was kind of cute. And it doesn't. This story didn't have information on pricing and so forth, but I did think was a really cool idea, the sort of concept of neighborhood crowd collaborative information, the symbols and the range of things. It did everything from where you can buy decorations and Christmas trees up through plays and charitable events and everything.
All right. Well, it's probably still around, and something might be in time for the holidays. Now, leading into this next story, I remember many
Mm-hmm.
years ago there was a programming language out called Logo, L-O-G, and this was a program that a programming language that would teach children programming constructs. And you would do that. They had something called a turtle, and it was like a little triangular shaped thing on your screen, and you would learn the code to move the turtle to the left, to the right, and the directions that it would travel, and it was all done by code in the Logo programming language. And the idea is that you would learn about loops and subroutines and everything, so you could basically control this. And again, it was a programming language for children to teach them programming. But it was done all on the screen. Well, evidently, this next story called CannyBots, it's a robotic toy that teaches programming, and if you listen to it and you read it, it's a lot like Logo, except now instead of as a little turtle on the screen, when I call it a turtle, it was a triangle. They called it a turtle. This is an actual little device that you can use to learn programming. It's a robotic toy that teaches programming. So tell us about this.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm with you. Again, the title, CannyBots, the robotic toy that teaches programming, from tech.co is the source. Story by D.M. Macaulay. And there's a great little photograph of the little tiny car-like device. But here's the story. It says, a brand new programmable robo-toy building kit called CannyBots has found astonishing success on Kickstarter. Get a load of this, guys. The project has amassed just over $122,000 of support, far surpassing the original goal of $40,000. Wow. So it's definitely caught a lot of people's attention, obviously. Yeah. The CannyBot is a wheeled toy that arrives in a multi-part construction kit. The instructions are fully illustrated and in color. All the tools necessary are included, and it's capable of being easily assembled at home. This unique approach allows children to gain hands-on experience in robot design and construction. So you can see a picture, if you have the show notes, of the little kit. All the items that are shown in the box is very attractive, very nice-looking packaging. It goes on to say the CannyBot can be controlled and programmed by tablets or smartphones via the CannyBots app, and is capable of the little device is capable of speeds up to 4 feet per second with the basic motor that comes along with the kit. Now, it says the new toy comes at a time when the call for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, aka the acronym STEM, right? Education has reached an all-time high. The benefits of STEM are well documented, and CannyBots creators believe their toy will engage children and encourage this kind of learning. There's a quote here from Anish Mapeta, the CEO of the company CannyBots, and he says, programming is an essential skill today, but it's not easy to get kids started. That's so true. We are allowing kids to do this in a fun, interactive, and rewarding way. Goes on to say the line has expanded since its inception in 2014, and CannyBots is now available to children and parents outside of the classroom. So apparently the original product was meant primarily or exclusively for schools. Puzzles, challenging mazes, competitive racing, and many other customizable activities are possible within the included application. There's a great image in the show notes of an iPhone with the CannyBots app on display showing you how you can drive this once you've got it all set up. The CannyBot uses a series of optical sensors to detect lines of black tape or follow printed official tracks. The company also offers large format vinyl tracks that are up to 6 feet long. 5 variations are currently available with more planned. There are additional exterior shells for the little vehicle for the toy that can be designed using the included designing software from Autodesk. Oh, another shameless plug. And by the way, they had the Autodesk capitalized, and actually it's not, but nonetheless, from Autodesk. And then you can 3D print the little cases or the bodies at home or school if you have a 3D printer, of course. The level of personalization allows kids to make the toy their own and encourages taking CandyBots apart to understand how it works. So I just thought this was a great, fun, educational story, and I just love the fact that, hey, they only were asking for $40K in their Kickstarter and got $122,000 and counting.
Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. We just got a comment from I'm not sure. I think this is from who mentioned a tweet. Evidently, Nextdoor is doing much more than just holiday decorations now. This is, I think, from. Oh yes, right, exactly. So this was from Ralph. Okay, okay, I get it. So yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Ben.
No, I just want to mention that about CandyBots, and that I don't know if you two had ever heard of the programming trick of explaining your code to a rubber duck. You know, where you know your code doesn't work, so then you explain it. Usually, when you explain your code to someone else, then you start to see the flaws in it, and then you can fix it. But you know, something about imagining like a 5-year-old explaining his CandyBot code to a rubber duck, and you know, just sitting there, it's like, I don't know why this car isn't going left. I tried everything, and I don't know, just what I thought of.
The raving. Okay. No, I think it's very cute, and again, I obviously a lot more advanced than the logo programming language I referred to, but that was like 20 some odd years ago.
Sure.
And this technology was not even a dream, and now it is something like this. But basically, again, you can control the little car with programming constructs and or the things that you have on your smartphone. That's
right.
Exactly. And now I like the little customs they have, flames and spoilers and
flames are always good.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so you guys really never heard of rubber duck debugging?
No, that I never actually heard of.
I got to be honest, I haven't. And I was thinking
it has its own Wikipedia page.
Okay.
See a little picture there. You put the rubber duck next to you, and then you explain your code to the duck whenever it doesn't work.
Can it help with other problems? Because I've got one of these rubber ducks.
I mean, yeah, it's the whole exercise is to make you think through things, and as you explain it, you think about it yourself, and then, I mean, you could try it with relationship problems. I hear that you're supposed to stop when the duck talks back to you, but up until that point, it's just an aid to help you think.
Ben, I'm glad you brought up that screen, because I have to be honest, I was thinking, is Ben having kind of a Friday episode going about rubber ducks? And I thought, what's going on here? And I was going to be polite and not say anything, but, I'm glad you brought that up. That's very interesting. I will check it out.
Any other programmers out there listening to this, please back me up. I don't want to be alone on this one. It's a thing. This is what they teach you in school to help you debug your own code.
I love it.
Although I have heard of other programmers, instead of rubber duck, who has absolutely no understanding of your code, they use their girlfriends or wives who have absolutely no understanding of their code, and it's the same process. So
wait a minute, Ben. I got to help you out here. You said girlfriends and wives. You're going down a gender stereotype path that could be very scary for you, pal. So you just say significant others, regardless of gender, who may not understand what's going on.
I'm just going off by personal life experiences, and generally most are men. That's just what I found.
How about a zombie? Can a small zombie doll do the same thing?
Anything can be a duck. Anything can be a duck. So
okay. So I'll put my zombie doll right down here, like your rubber ducky was on your computer, and see if it helps.
It helps. It does.
If I could explain it to this guy.
Exactly. Right, Craig?
Anything you say, man.
You're making me look like the crazy one, but I'm the sanest person here.
You're okay. I'm relieved because you're okay.
What is it the person with the mental abilities thinks that they're the only one who's sane and everybody else is crazy. Yeah. You go right out of
Kind of true.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming up to the break. I don't know if we have time to do the next stories, but some of the stories are going to be coming up talking about one story. Every James Bond gadget that you've heard about in a single 16-minute video. That's one of the stories. And we had referred to this, Ben, I feel, about the when we were talking about the Google Cardboard virtual reality viewer. Well, evidently, this one of the stories is saying that the best inexpensive cardboard viewer may be the Mattel ViewMaster. Okay, that's going to be an interesting story. And then other interesting stories coming up too. Well, we have dusting the sky with diamonds. Why would you want to do that? Well, we'll talk about that. And then also we'll talk about something called the Hands-On with Voyager, which is a Wi-Fi-enabled leather travel bag, which is interesting. And then we'll also talk about 3D printed medical gear tailored to babies, infants.
I always thought babies were an underserved technological age group.
Yeah, again. We'll also talk about a minibar alcohol delivery service whose intention is to launch subscriptions so you can keep on drinking.
Well, it's Friday, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
You know who needs privacy software the most?
who?
Babies. Because like everything to do with babies are baby monitoring devices. They have no privacy.
That's right. We should. Babies should stand up and yeah.
Who out there is serving the market for baby privacy concerns? We have yet to hear of a single company.
Or a baby.
Yeah, or baby.
Right.
I mean, and we hear from them, but they just babble.
Protest, exactly. All right, you're listening to the Computer America Show. Ben and I are talking to Ralph Bond, who was going to be with us here for both hours. We finished our first hour. We got lots more coming up. Also, we're going to have our social media winner of the week for that Logitech Anywhere MX2 wireless mouse valued at $80. We're going to take a short commercial break, and then we'll be right back with another hour of the Computer America Show. Please stay with us.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm crazy. I guess.
Yeah. No, you're not crazy. Just, well, anyway.
Exactly.
You're my co-host. And Ben and I are talking to Ralph Bond. What is that? A little green man? Talking about all the great things that Ralph finds for us on Friday. He's always on with the second Friday of the month. He's with Autodesk, of course, and a couple of stories have actually been about Autodesk, which is interesting. And again, if you want to join us, just give us a call, 347-884-8881, or any page at ComputerAmerica.com. On the upper right-hand corner, submit a question. Just click that link so you can do so. And also watch us on our live video stream at ComputerAmerica.com. So we're doing all these terrific stories. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll be calling out our social media winner of the week for the Logitech Anywhere MX2 cordless mouse valued at $80. And in the first hour, if you missed any of that and you want to listen to it again or listen to it for the first time, go to, again, ComputerAmerica.com. Any page, you'll see the archives selection on the menu bar. Just click that. It'll take you to all the different places where you can listen to the archives of the show, so you can listen to whatever it was that you had missed. And or if you hadn't missed it but you wanted to hear something again, you certainly can do so there. again, at the internet home of the Computer America show, computeramerica.com. All right, so we continue on, Ralph, with these stories, and we covered some really interesting ones. The last one, of course, being the CaniBot, which is a robotic toy that teaches programming. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
This next story, story 6, drone carrying drugs and hacksaw blades crashed in an Oklahoma prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it had to happen, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, forget putting a hacksaw blade in a cake and taking it to a prisoner. That's like,
yeah, that's old.
that's old school. That's, we got to do it with drones now.
This is what happens when you have drones who come from violent, poor areas. It's just poor upbringing of drones leads to this. It's sad to see. It's a society thing.
Drones from broken homes.
Right. Exactly.
No.
Sad.
It almost rhymed.
It was almost good. Well, this is my Green Zombie. Frank.
Okay.
Okay, that's who this guy is. If he shows up periodically, now you know.
Now we know.
Anyway, so this story comes from a serious publication, IT World, right? IT World story by Martin Williams. Love it. Headline: Drone carrying drugs, hacksaw blades crashes in Oklahoma prison. Here's the story. Great picture too, folks. If you have the show notes, it's pretty funny. They show the drone. They show all the stuff that was in this thing. So get a load of this. A drone carrying drugs, a cell phone, hacksaw blades, and other contraband was discovered crashed in an Oklahoma prison yard on Monday morning. Officers, and when was this story filed? A couple weeks back. Officers patrolling the Oklahoma State Penitentiary in McAllister noticed the drone lying upside down inside prison grounds at about 9 in the morning, having apparently crashed after hitting razor wire that guarded the facility.
Had missed the razor wire, it would have had a successful delivery.
That's right, and poor piloting. So a drone from a broken home with someone who was not a very good pilot. So. Upon investigation, they found a package of illicit material that had been suspended from the drone by fishing line. Probably what was going to happen was, a drop, right?
Exactly.
It included two 12-inch hacksaw blades. How old school? I mean, really, are you going to really think you're going to cut your way? I mean, come on, guys. I almost wonder if this was a joke or something. But anyway, a cell phone battery.
It wasn't an iPhone. It wasn't an iPhone because you can't replace this.
Well, yeah, and then here's a cryptic entry: a hands-free device. Okay, that could be a lot of things. 2 packages of cigarettes, 2 packages of cigars, 2 tubes of super glue, a bag containing 5.3 ounces of marijuana, a bag with 0.8 ounces of methamphetamine, and a bag containing less than 1 gram of heroin. Well, it was at least a variety pack. I'll give you that.
None of those things. I only spent a couple years in prison, but none of those things. I'm the hardened criminal of the group. I've come to realize this. You two are family men, and I'm the rough and tumble guy. But none of those things are meant to bust you out of prison. Those are obviously things that were just there to sell or trade inside. Yes. So, yeah. But it makes sense that the thing crashed. I mean, obviously the guy was on drugs doing this.
From a broken home. The Oklahoma Department of Corrections issued a photo of the drone, which is shown in the show notes, which resembles a DJI Phantom quadcopter, alongside it, the picture were the goods that it was carrying. So it shows all the stuff that was in it or being suspended on a bag by the drone. The incident, which was the first reported case of its kind in the state, is now under investigation. Drones have been used to attempt to smuggle goods and contraband into prisons in other U.S. states, so this is not unique. Now, if you're one of the writers for Orange is the New Black, the Netflix series about the women's prison,
there's your next episode.
Here's an episode for you. There you go. Piper's cousin or brother, I can't remember whether he's supposed to be her brother. This is perfect for him. He could fly a drone in and drop off contraband. Anywho, pretty funny story.
What's that show Craig keeps talking about with all the Person of Interest, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Person of Interest. I just started watching that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a but you have a lot of catch up to do because it's like in its fourth season
Oh,
now.
I know, I know. I just started watching, I think on Netflix or one of the services that has it, and yeah, I like the guy who played Ben on Lost, and he's the recluse super millionaire guy in this show, and that's sort of fun.
Ben, did you have a point that you wanted to make?
I thought if there was going to be a crossover, it'd be between Person of Interest and Orange Is the New Black.
Ah, okay.
Aha.
All right.
There won't be, but
Um,
I'm crazy, so go continue.
No, you're just Ducky.
all right. Well, since Bond is is the topic of everything, of course, it's Ralph's last name, and of course, the new James Bond movie has come out. There's a video, evidently a single 16-minute video that displays every James Bond gadget ever.
Yeah, this is a good one from Gizmodo, story by Jamie Condliffe. And there's a link there, and there's a little image of the opening screen and so forth, and super fun. I do think this is kind of a fun thing. And a tongue-in-cheek little story says, after the all-important tuxedo, martini, and gun, if there's one thing James Bond never travels without, it's a good gadget. This supercut, this little video shows every gizmo that Bond has ever used. There are, of course, a wide range of Bond gadgets, from simple rotating number plates on your automobile, right, your license plate, and hidden knives to high-powered lasers, and, of course, the fully automated crocodile disguise. There's a useful one, she says. This video counts a bewildering 193 different shows of technology, though the interpretation of what counts as a gadget is sometimes a little loose. And she knows, sadly, the countdown or the count of the video doesn't include the latest film, Spectre, so you'll have to keep a tally when you're at the theater. So did you do that, Craig? Can you tell me how many gadgets there were in Spectre?
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Okay, and then it just ends by saying which one of these is your favorite. But it's tongue-in-cheek and it's fun, and the link is in there. Go out and I watched it. It was pretty comical.
The older Bond movies seem to have some of the funniest gadgets. I've never seen most of these, so.
Oh, the old original films. The guy Q, right? The
Yes.
guy who always was the
Well,
fellow
Q is-
that.
Yeah, Q is in all of them. I mean, obviously Q is now a kid. They have to.
Right.
But yeah, Q stands for quartermaster, and he was the one that would always have.
Yeah, and always in the old films, right, going way back. I always loved that character because Bond always annoyed the hell out of that guy, right? He'd come up with these great inventions and stuff, and Bond would make smart remarks about them, or of course ruin them or destroy them out in the field. And this is very tongue-in-cheek. There was always a running gag.
Yeah, exactly. Although this Q he's a young kid, and again, I don't want to spoil anything, but they become very good friends in this movie. So.
All right.
All right. So.
What synergy between the main characters? Why go bother? Why see it?
Now we had said that the ViewMaster was going to become the next. They were talking about actually making a VR version of the ViewMaster, but that's not what this story is about. This story is about taking a standard ViewMaster and converting it into a device that will give you virtual reality using your smartphone. This is what I'm reading here, which looks really interesting. I mean, and again, this comes from PC World, right, Andrew?
Yeah, this is an interesting story. So the headline is, and we'll walk you through this and explain what's going on here. It says the best cheap cardboard VR viewer is ... Mattel's ViewMaster ? And the cardboard reference is to the Google product. So all this is going to make sense in a moment here as we go through the story. A story by Andrew Hayward, PC World, as you mentioned. There's a beautiful photograph of the product, and it actually is a product that was developed for this purpose, not a retrofitted old-fashioned ViewMaster. So it says, even though it was created by Google, cardboard phone-based virtual reality viewers. So you've seen those before, guys, right? The little cardboard thing you put your smartphone in, you have some lenses, and you kind of make a makeshift 3D thing for yourself. So it says cardboard phone-based virtual reality viewers have been very cool, do-it-yourself aura around them and so forth. So when Mattel, the house that Barbie and Hot Wheels built, comes in and tries to take cardboard mainstream. In other words, taking this concept of using your smartphone in a holder. So Mattel's trying to make this mainstream. Surely, he said, the result feels hollow and half-hearted, right? And basically it's tongue-in-cheek as he's saying, amazingly, no. The ViewMaster VR from Mattel, which takes its aesthetic cues from the classic real viewing toys, builds upon the official cardboard specs from Google and manages to upgrade the average foldable viewer in nearly every aspect. And once again, if you have the show notes, you can see how attractive this product is. It's made from sturdy plastic, holds your phone securely within, and works with all the same applications. Plus, the price is only a few bucks more than you'll spend on the actual cardboard Vision. By the way, I looked at the pricing. It's just under $30. No doubt the ViewMaster VR aims for a different audience with its look. While typical cardboard viewers share the same DNA as a pizza box or shipping carton, the ViewMaster VR is glossy red, white, and black, looking precisely like a toy should. It's a nod to the classic ViewMaster. Now, I'm old enough to remember those, click it, the little wheel. It was a lot of fun. We loved those things. It's a nod to the classic ViewMaster and even has an orange lever for the input button. But instead of staring at illuminated still images, as we did when I was a child on little discs, you'll pop your phone within and soak up immersive VR content. It's built from Google's Cardboard 2.0 framework released this summer, so the ViewMaster VR works with a wide array of devices, including iPhones supporting up to 6-inch screens. Your handset snaps into a very snug plastic grip within, which stretches to accommodate larger devices. Very smart. Stretches out, so it's not a fixed only for this model kind of thing. It's very, very clever. The author says, I tried a Nexus 5 and Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, and both fit perfectly and stayed in place. Paired with the thick plastic build, the ViewMaster VR can take some wear while keeping your phone safe. Now, while that's a selling point for sure, what really makes the ViewMaster a cut above the usual cardboard fare is the functionality. He goes on to say, right off the bat, I was impressed by the lenses. They're not adjustable like the unofficial Cardboard 2.0 Plus viewer, but they also don't have the cardboard residue I always find on the cheap viewers. And they're easily accessible from both sides, making cleanup a breeze. And if you have the show notes, you can see the picture right underneath where I'm reading now. It is a very attractive product, I think, and very clever with that adjustable inner core that holds your smartphone in place. And then I did go out and I got some pricing. Toys R Us, Target, Walmart, Kohl's, eBay. Actually, eBay price was the highest, but across the board, if you go to these big box outlets, you're looking at $29.99 is the suggested price. And Toys R Us and Target will sell you the product for that and give you free shipping too, by the way. So it's kind of cool.
So it's available now. This is available.
Yep. I just pulled up my data about Target, Toys R Us. I just dropped it in my notes today. It's not in the notes that you folks have, but that's today's pricing. Yeah, pretty cool.
And this is made by Mattel, called the ViewMaster VR.
Right.
Exactly. And again, it has the little. They fit around your eyes, so light can't get in. Like with standard binoculars, you get distracted from left peripheral visions. This actually has a little hood, so it really gives you the immersive experience, which was ViewMaster, and evidently it works perfectly for this too. And that little lever on the right there, the little orange lever, was in fact in the original ViewMaster the way you turn the wheel, so you get another image. And and this button actually, what does this button do now? I wasn't clear with that.
To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what the button would do. Maybe it advances programs or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's an input button of some sort. It looks really cool.
Or maybe it's there just to make you feel good. I don't know.
And it sells for how much? This is
$29.99 suggested retail, and again, what was it? Walmart and Toys R Us and Target. If you want it from them, they'll ship it to you for free.
Okay. All right, we're Ben, I, and Ralph are doing these stories that Ralph finds again, and again, you can watch it at computeramerica.com, or you can go to our cheat notes link, and you can click on that as well and check out the images and the stories for yourself. This next one here, I want to skip down to story 12.
Okay.
Which is something talking about something called the Voyager, which is a Wi-Fi enabled leather travel bag. This is
yeah. Great for it. I thought this might be fun since we're the holiday period and maybe you're looking for a cool gift. This comes from TechCrunch, a story by Fritz Tepper. Hands-on with Voyager, a Wi-Fi enabled leather travel bag, and you can see the image. It's a pretty attractive bag. It's a rather conservative, classical looking bag, but it has a clever twist to it. So it says, as someone who travels a lot, I've always struggled with finding the perfect bag. Anything with wheels is clunky. Duffel bags always mix up my clothes and gadgets, and backpacks make me look like I'm still in middle school. Enter Voyager, a bag made by This Is Ground. That's the name of the company, This Is Ground. A handmade leather goods company based in downtown Los Angeles. Imagine that. Their bag is stylish, like a briefcase, roomy, like a duffel, and organizes gadgets like my nerdy old backpack. And in the photograph, you can see this sort of drop-down zipper case where you have all these nice places to hold in place your cables and cords and your devices and so forth. So that's kind of cool. And very accessible from the outside, so it makes it easy to get to those devices, right? Mm-hmm. And it says, better yet, it comes with a Karma Go Wi-Fi device, essentially making it a traveling hotspot. That's the part I thought that was pretty cool. After just returning from a weekend trip where I had a chance to take Voyager for a spin, I can safely say that it's as functional as promised. The bag, which is a foot tall, 16.5 inches long, has two separate zippered sections. The main compartment can fit a pretty good deal of my stuff, about a weekend's worth of clothes, and one or two pairs of shoes. So it's maybe bigger than the photograph would let you think. The side pocket, which houses the Wi-Fi device, has partitions for a phone, battery pack, a plethora of charging cords, and basically any other small gadget you can throw in there. Voyager comes in a variety of colors, including bomber, navy, cognac, French gray, and charcoal. While I only got to play with one of the bags, it was made of extremely high quality leather, the type that you can smell before you can even pick up the bag. It also has handles and a shoulder strap, which allows it to be casually thrown over the shoulder or held like a briefcase. Now, it says, as mentioned, the Wi-Fi is powered via a device from Karma, K-A-R-M-A, just like Karmic and Karma, right? A pay-as-you-go network with coverage in over 400 U.S. cities. Interesting, right? I wasn't familiar with this service, so it sounds like you guys may be already. And it goes on to say, while I first thought the Wi-Fi dongle was a bit gimmicky, a 2-hour delay on the tarmac with a charged laptop but dead cell phone quickly changed my mind. That being said, a phone with a tethering plan will probably suffice in most cases, and the bag can be bought without the Karma integration. So you have a choice to buy the bag without that if you don't want it. Voyager will go on sale November the 2nd, so it's already out there, and retail for, well, this is a spendy gift, $725 without the Wi-Fi device and $925 with. While it's slightly pricey, Voyager is sure to get a ton of compliments and might just become your new favorite bag. Now, I think if you're a really diehard traveler, super business traveler, like some of my friends at Autodesk who are running around the world all the time, probably that price could be justified over the long term for the, especially with the Wi-Fi device and a subscription to that service. So, yeah, that's a cool product. Thought it'd be fun to share.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, if you're watching, you can see some of the images on. If you're watching the live video, Ben is displaying them in the background, so you can see them. So we're going to move now to story 16.
All right.
And this is a minibar alcohol delivery service.
You had to go there, didn't you, Greg?
Minibar alcohol delivery service launches subscription so you can keep drinking. Okay.
You know, this is what the internet's for, right? Okay, so here we go. Story from TechCrunch by Jordan Crook, Crook. Minibar alcohol delivery systems, Craig said, service launches subscriptions so you can keep drinking. Well, of course, this got my attention immediately. And in the picture, it's suggesting either you're a solo drinker who's going to have one drink in each hand, or you're sharing an experience with someone. I mean, you decide what the picture is inferring. Minibar, the digital service layer connecting delivery liquor stores with consumers. So there's a service called Minibar. Again, the digital service layer connecting delivery liquor stores with consumers has today announced the launch of a new subscription feature letting users set up recurring deliveries. Oh, well, that's a good idea.
Get you too drunk to dial them up, or don't worry, your alcohol will still be delivered.
Or if you're passed out. With subscriptions, users can place a particular order on repeat for once a week, once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, or once a month, depending on your personal problems, I suppose. These deliveries are scheduled for the same day of the week with a specified 2-hour window of availability. Since Minibar deals in alcohol, someone must be present with an ID to receive the delivery. Now, it doesn't say an ID for 21 years of age or older, or 18 or older, depending on what state or province you're in.
Well, that kills out the passed out scenario. You have to be.
Yeah, you got to be at least able to get to the door.
Exactly. It's showing right. Okay.
It's got a quote here from the co-founder, Laura Crystal. She says, 15% of our businesses is from corporate clients.
Wow.
Whether they stock up on beer to have a complete kitchen or host a monthly happy hour. For office managers, the idea of running out to get mixers and beer for the office can be a real hassle. So we wanted to make things easier for them.
Yeah,
I support that. That's workplace incentive. Obviously, Minibar subscriptions aren't just for corporate clients. If you want your 2 favorite wines delivered every few weeks, Minibar can set up small recurring orders as well. Minibar is one startup in a growing group of alcohol-based delivery services, ranging from direct competitor Drizzly, D-R-I-Z-L-Y, I love that name, to totally different business models like that of Craft and Rare, another company. The Minibar technology lets users order whatever alcohol they want, beer, wine, liquor, from a liquor store that already offers delivery. The consumer gets to order alcohol on demand from the comfort of their home or office, and the liquor extra leads, with Minibar taking a cut, of course. So founded in May of 2013, the company has raised $1.8 million and offers service in 15 cities across the U.S. Now, being from the great and wonderful state of Oregon, which shares things with Colorado and a few other places, you know the next thing that's coming. It's going to be, on-demand, recurring marijuana delivery. That's coming. It's probably already there. I don't know about it. But
they had that before, when you had to buy it from some shady guy out of his apartment. And sometimes he'll drive over to your place and drop it off for you. I guess now it's just the legal stuff has to catch up to the illegal stuff.
Yeah, so it's gonna instead of Minibar, they'll be calling it Pot Bar.
There you go.
And I bet if you Google right now, online delivery of marijuana, Oregon, Colorado, I've forgotten the other states that now have legalized recreational marijuana. And the District of Columbia, right? Didn't they do it too?
I think so.
I bet you'd find, I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure it must be.
Well, I know they have the medical marijuana.
Well, yes.
So that's clear there. The recreational one, that's going to happen. No doubt.
Oh, I love the part about a lot of their customers are business people. I think that's hilarious.
The times they are changing, aren't they?
And that part about this whole Minibar thing was crazy to me. It's like, 15% of our business is corporate clients, and for office managers, the idea of running out and getting to get mixes of beer for the office can be a real hassle. I'm like, what are these people complaining that they have to stop drinking for an hour and eat a couple pretzels? Like, oh, let's just sign up for this service. They'll bring it right to us. It'll be great. Just don't stop drinking.
It's funny.
I don't know.
It is funny. I love the story, though. I couldn't resist.
It's funny and tragic at the same time.
Oh my god.
Well,
at the risk of being labeled crazy again, this is where our economy is going. And yes, I can take a story about Minibar and extrapolate it out to the economy in general, where our economy is more and more moving toward, because with automation, all this kind of thing, is more and more moving to the on-demand
you're right,
delivery service.
Yeah.
Amazon hiring drivers to get people items from Amazon.com in like under an hour. We see a lot of different food places or businesses that cater simply to places that don't deliver. They'll go out, pick up your food, and deliver to you. This is just another one of those. It's another service that, really there's no specialized skill here needed, but it's just the convenience and the on-demand part of this that makes it attractive. It makes it a viable business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And hey, talking about Amazon, and my wife makes fun of me because I always say Amazon.com. Now, I want you guys to testify, witness for me.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, everyone called it Amazon.com. You still hear that once in a while.
Right.
My wife goes, "It's not Amazon.com. That sounds stupid. It's Amazon. You ordered something from Amazon today, Ralph. Not Amazon.com." So if you back me up on that, I would appreciate it. Make me feel a little better.
It is? It's just a sign of the times. I mean, way back when you really had to say .com, and that would infer that it was at the internet. And yes, it
was an internet-only business. But nowadays, every business is pretty much an internet-based business as well. So
what that's like? It's like it used to be Apple Computer, and then they just dropped the computer. It's just Apple.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I think that the things that are progressing it's inferred now that it's online. We don't have to say, "Oh, I'm going online to get it." You just, I'm getting it.
You're absolutely correct. It's like giving out a URL, and you don't have to do the www.
Thank you.
Right? You can just say Amazon, but I'll still say it .com. But hey, actually, what I wanted to say about Amazon, we'll just leave it at that, is them opening up brick and mortar bookstores. Did you hear about this, guys?
Was it more than one or just one? Because
I know they did one. Is it just the one?
Yeah,
and I thought, my wife was laughing. She said, "Here's a company that's the quintessential virtual online," and does a great job. I enjoy that, and I have one of their Prime subscriptions, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But why in the world would my wife said, "What? They opened up a brick and mortar bookstore." It's sort of like, okay, haven't you just seen all those other guys go away? Yeah. Those, the road is littered with the dinosaurs of those.
They killed them too, and then they go and make
one.
And
they killed them.
Yeah.
And now maybe they've wiped everybody out, so now we'll come back and repopulate the Earth. I don't know. What is it?
All right, we got our social media winner of the week coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
No, the Cobb salad he served actually had corn cobs in it. Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America, this time Clip-A-Phone. It's the opposite of a selfie and everybody elsey. We got in Clip-A-Phone, a rig that attaches to the brim of a cap to create a strap-in stand for a smartphone and comes with a small remote fob you can use to snap pictures. The cap brim grabber has ramped ridges that make it easy to slip on but tougher to remove. The top stand clamps the camera between a solid panel and a cushion curve, while a rubbery top band belts the camera into place. You're a little more likely to have your cap come loose than to have this gizmo let go. Bottom line, with a smartphone in a Clip-A-Phone, its camera looks where you look and makes taking snaps a snap. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here, time has just been flying by. We're already in our last half hour of the show.
Yeah.
And we're on the home stretch. Last half hour, Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, work week's almost done. And really, now we're in the 3 to 5 time slot, obviously. Hopefully, people on the East Coast, you're right there with us. You're about an hour and a half away from being done yourselves. That's great. But this is the time that we usually make someone's day a little bit better, where we give away a beautiful, beautiful mouse from Logitech.
Yes, it is. And we, as you know, it's a social media winner of the week, and we go to one of our social media sites and we select the name that was submitted by someone registering at either liking our Facebook page or following our Twitter or subscribing to the YouTube video channel that is our Computer America, and we came up with a winner. And this week's winner is Ralph's on the digital drums. Carrie Edmonds. Carrie Edmonds, congratulations. Carrie listens to us in Battle Creek, Michigan. Isn't that where Kellogg's is located, in Battle Creek, Michigan? Kellogg's, the cereal people? Yeah.
Does everyone there fight? Why do they call it Battle Creek?
Well, there is a creek that's called Battle Creek, but Kellogg's is located there. Kellogg's.
What a violent creek.
Violent Creek, Battle Creek. Anyway, Carrie wins the Logitech MX Anywhere 2 wireless mouse. This is a mouse that works with its dark field technology on shiny glass laminate tops, glass surfaces, even your jeans. You can pair up to 3 computers and switch between them with the touch of a button thanks to the easy switch technology, the little button on the bottom of the mouse. It's compact enough to take anywhere, and it's valued at $79.99, $80. And again, it goes to Carrie Edmonds at Battle Creek. So congratulations to you, Carrie. And we, again, just head over to computeramerica.com and get your entry in just by going to any one of our social media pages, and we'll be calling your name next week. Okay. So Ralph Bond is here with us in this last half hour of the final hour of the show for the week, and we continue to do stories. Now, we all kind of make fun of when we call technical support and we get India or somebody located in India. And we really shouldn't do that, being politically correct as we all are. But
No, they have an industry built around tech support and these giant call centers. It's not politically incorrect to say that there are a lot of Indians working in tech support. That's just the way the business is.
It is. But it's come.
India and Russia, to be fair, just put the 2 big players out there. India and Russia have very big call centers.
Yes, they do. Yeah, exactly. And anyone who calls tech support will probably know this, having experienced it. Well, evidently, Google according to the story 17, Google is going to, because there are over 10 million people in India. Well, at least Google is going to be bringing Wi-Fi to over 10 million people in India. And we need Wi-Fi here, but evidently they're going over to India to bring them Wi-Fi as well.
No. Ralph, please do the story, and then we'll talk about the difference between 10 million people in India and 10 million people in America.
Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. It's Friday. All is forgiven. It's all good. So settle down. Okay, Tech.co is the source of the story by Kristen Pryor, and as the headline says, Google to bring Wi-Fi to over 10 million people in India, and the way you're going to find out how they're going to do this is darn clever, I think. And we've got the link here on the show notes for you. And the story says, it's hard to believe in our constantly connected world that there are more than 1 billion people just in India who do not have access to the internet.
Wow.
Google CEO, which I think is staggering when you think about it. Google CEO Sundar Pichai, and I presume that's an Indian name, is making real plans to change that, which I think is kind of cool. Pichai, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly or not, who grew up in India, well, there's your answer, and rode the train to school, recently announced that Google will be working to get train stations in India online. So he thought to himself, where do my countrymen go a lot? People of India, well, they're train stations. Let's Wi-Fi enable those as a way to start getting access for people. This will give over 10 million people, mostly commuters, access to the internet. They are starting with 100 train stations and ultimately hope to build it out to 400 stations in India. And there's a quote here from the executive. It says, even with just the first 100 stations online, this project will make Wi-Fi available for the more than 10 million people who pass through these stations every day. This will rank it as the largest public Wi-Fi project in India and among the largest in the world by the number of potential users. Now, Google is working with Indian Railways and RailTel, R-A-I-L-T-E-L, on the initiative with the goal of having all 100 stations online by the end of 2016. Indian Railways operates one of the world's largest railway networks, and RailTel plans to bring the first stations online in the next few months with RailWire via its extensive fiber network along many of these railway lines. So I just thought to myself, what a clever idea to light up, so to speak, these major commuter train stations for this purpose. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes a lot of sense because you have to start someplace where people, I mean, whether it's been in airports or it be, you're going to pick something where a lot of people are using it. Obviously, a lot more people are using the train, evidently, in India, because or if they're going. Whereas, I think it's a good idea. Really, I think to bring it to it. I just do it, and it's a great way.
No, it really does make a lot of sense because people use these trains every day. People don't fly every day. Not even here. Well, if you fly every day in America, you're weird
special.
Anyways. It's special, but trains are a big thing, and it's crazy just to think that with just 100 stations hooked up and connected to and beaming out this Wi-Fi, they were able to service 10 million people with just 100 stations.
Yeah.
Well, and a thought occurred to me too, guys. There could be a kind of spin-off business to this because, of course, commuters are one thing, but for many Indians who may not ever be able to afford to have Wi-Fi in their homes, they could create sort of like coffee shop environments or businesses that are located at the railway station, but become kind of like internet cafe sort of idea, right? So you could have a whole kind of accreting ring of businesses that would now say, since the Wi-Fi is here, let's bring in more services, more environments that would allow people who aren't maybe commuting on the train to sit down and do their internet business and have their entertainment and whatever. So my thought to myself, this could be a really wonderful economic thing as well to kind of generate a whole new set of ecosystem businesses associated with the Wi-Fi hotspots in these ultimately 400 railway stations. So that's kind of cool.
Right, yeah. And the two last points that I'm thinking here is, of course, one, you can't really bring internet to every single home in India because India is very big, very spread out, and the infrastructure there not the best. Like, it's developing every year, but it's still not the best. So getting every home wired up with internet just not feasible. So
Right.
Putting in a place where obviously these train stations sound like they're very high, not very high tech, but at least centers of technology. They have different companies who are obviously working on the infrastructure of the railways. So bringing this new technology in there obviously isn't much of a stretch. The other thing is Google. Why are they doing this? I mean, I know for a fact that the CEO, he he's Indian, and he realizes the need for this because he experienced it firsthand. But
Right.
I mean, it doesn't not make bad business sense.
Not at all. It's genius.
There's a lot of negatives in there, but it makes perfect business sense as well because first of all, yay for helping Indians connect to the internet, but it's Google. Let's face it, they make their money by ad revenue. And with a very quick 100 stations wired up and beaming Wi-Fi, and 10 million people all of a sudden surfing the internet,
Yeah.
thanks to Google, guess what they just got? They just got 10 million more people who are going to view Google ads.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Probably a lot more. Probably people just go down to the train station just to get the Wi-Fi signal.
Exactly.
Right. It makes perfect business sense, and it's also a good thing to do. So, and I think that's a great win-win right there. So.
Yeah, that's a cool story. And the part of the story that also caught my attention, guys, was leveraging the fact that India has placed high-speed, fiber optics line? Is that what it said? But
right,
anyway,
yeah.
high-speed lines, along the tracks. So it made sense. The tracks are the arteries of India's infrastructure for transportation. Bottom line, it's sort of like our interstate freeway system, if you want to think that way. So putting those lines, and so the genius of this idea is that infrastructure's there, these high-speed lines following the train tracks, following the stations. So hey, why not tap into that, so to speak? It's very, very smart.
It does make a lot of sense.
And that's 10 million for 100, and they said they want to spread it to 400. So who knows how many more millions are going to get this in the coming year? I mean, it's really good.
It's great. It's a cool story.
Okay, well, this next story, 18. Are you planning to take a holiday road trip?
Holiday road.
If you are, we have an app for you. I love this song, by the way.
But Greg, stop it, or else we have to pay them royalties in like 3 seconds.
So, if you're planning to take that holiday trip, Ralph has an app for you. Okay.
I think you went way past 3 seconds, pal. They're going to come looking for you.
Yeah.
They're called road trippers. All right.
Yeah. So this is from Tech.co, another story from them. I found a lot of great stories on that site. Camilla Souza is the author of this piece. It says, "Taking a road trip this holiday? ? Road Tripper's new app will help you plan." There's a fun little picture too in the show notes. Road tripping with your favorite allies just got easier. Online trip planner startup Road Trippers recently launched their new iPhone app, making place discovery and trip planning easier and more intuitive than ever on the go. The new app, which centralizes travel resources, simplifies trip planning for the 41.3 million Americans, that AAA travel plan projects, that AAA, it sounds like Alcohol Anonymous. No. AAA travel projects.
We have that mini bar thing going along. We can talk.
Yeah, I think I need it. Projects will drive 50 miles or more from home this Thanksgiving. So let's try that all over again. 41.3 million Americans, according to the AAA, they project will drive 50 miles or more this Thanksgiving. There we go. Finally got it out.
Okay.
New features like trip weather forecasting and a long route discovery for gas stations, food, hotels, and more, complemented by revamped booking and navigation, beautiful new maps, swipe-able place discovery cards, access to your favorite locations and trips, and a virtual concierge to help you find what you need faster. These are all elements of this new app. And then there's a picture in the show notes that shows you what the app looks like. Lots of GPS apps and so forth will have the ability to show you restaurants and gasoline stations, that sort of thing. So in that regard, it's not all that unique. Road Trippers is the only travel platform, but here's what they claim. Road Trippers is the only travel platform built specifically for specifically for road-based travel, which makes up to 78% of total travel and tourism spent in the United States. Now here's a quote from the CEO. Said, "We created new Road Trippers app to make it even easier and more fun for people to plan trips and discover amazing places along their route. Whether they're traveling cross-country or 30 minutes outside of where they live, this holiday season, we're empowering travelers to ditch long airport lines and expensive ticket fares for the open road." And given our gasoline prices lately, that does kind of make sense. Road Trippers platform is powered by a hand-curated database of millions of points of interest for travelers to discover America's best diners, scenic points, attractions, hotels, and more. This unique content covers all of the weird and wonderful off-the-beaten-path places to visit nationwide. That part sounds interesting to me. So whether you're planning a long drive to visit family this holiday season or simply spending a Sunday afternoon exploring the hidden treasures around you, Road Trippers has you covered. Now it says, since Road Trippers' launch in July of 2012, so it's been around for a while, travelers have planned more than 5.5 million trips on the platform, which uses mobile and cloud technology to predict its users' travel needs well before the historical point of booking. That's kind of interesting. So it's it's well worth checking it out if you're going to be doing some road tripping. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. And so, if you're planning that holiday vacation, we got to get that.
No, but isn't that half the fun of road trips? Is you get that big flimsy map that folds out to 5 feet by 5 feet, and you have to kind of navigate yourself.
It's funny you say that. My wife still believes in paper maps.
Really?
Carol, you got the you got the GPS. You got all. What are you doing?
But sometimes we'll want to make us print out a map from MapQuest. Just to make a.
See, MapQuest is okay, but paper maps I just can't abide by because we live in an age where there are metal objects floating above our heads all the time that map continuously what the heck is going on all around us, and the paper maps are out of date the minute that they get printed. Makes no sense.
Yeah. And I dislike paper maps for the same reason I don't like newspapers. I like the content of newspapers. What I want is, but this whole thing of you're reading a story, bagging it, folding the paper, you're trying to eat your cereal, and so what I want, my fantasy, is a big tablet on a stand, and my newspaper, which my local newspaper is also offered digitally, and I often defer to that on my iPad because it's so much more convenient for me just to go through that way instead of fussing around with this goofy paper that I then have to recycle, and the energy used to create the newspaper is stupid also. So there, I've shared with you my Friday afternoon pet peeve.
If you need a little bit more elbow room in your tablet, you can always go for the new iPad Pro.
Yes.
Top up $1,300 and plenty of reading room.
Sure.
That iPad Pro is really hot, though.
Are you listening, Santa?
Want an iPad Pro? Okay, we had time maybe to do one or two more stories. I want to go back up to story 9 and talk about these crazy Finns.
Yes.
Finland becoming the first country to launch its very own emoji.
Yeah, their own emojis. Yeah, I love this. This is very funny. It's very odd, too. It's you gotta love the Scandinavians. Anyway, it's from TNW News, a story by Matthew Hussey. And again, the headline is Finland becomes the first country to launch its own emoji And the illustrations, the little imagery there is very, very comical. It says, Finland, the land of saunas, the Nokia 3310. It's the only phone that ever mattered. That's the opinion of the writer. And Rovio Games has become the land that also has its own set of emoji. There's a naked man and woman enjoying a sauna. And you can see the little cartoon. It's quite funny. The Nokia 3310, yes, and a headbanger because the Finns just love, and it's love, metal music. I don't know what the L-U-R-R-V in the original notes was, unless that's Finnish for love. Maybe it is. I don't know. And if you need to go to the link, folks, so you can see some more of the emojis because they're very funny. The headbanger one is particularly comical. It says the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released the Finnish symbols or emoji as part of a set of 30 that will form part of a Christmas calendar that will be released next month. Yeah, it's not clear whether they'll be released on the web as a downloadable set, so right now they feel a bit like pictograms to us, or to the writer of the story here. But the ministry is quite insistent they are emoji. The emoji, and there's a quote here from the director, the emojis used especially by young people have revolutionized communications in the same way as the invention of the text message. Not quite sure it's that important. Emojis are used to communicate visually rather than verbally, and that suits Finns. I don't know whether that's a complimentary thing to say about your own people or not. I don't know. Goes on to say the emoji were designed by art director Bruno Leo Ribeiro of the marketing and communication agency Hassan and Partners together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. If you're looking to have a Finnish Christmas, as in F-I-N-N-I-S-H, the calendar will be available in 13 languages. How funny, including Spanish, Chinese, and Russian. Now, imagine you're a Chinese person. Oh, I want Finnish Christmas calendar with funny emoji. I mean, I just can't imagine it. It's comical to me. The site says it's coming soon, which we presume will be December before, not because, as the note said here, before Christmas. There were obviously things lost in translation here, but it's just a comical story. If you go to the website, you got to see those other emoji. They're pretty funny.
And I'm not sure if either one of you had followed popular online memes and things like that, but the Nokia 3310 definitely has a place in pop culture as being the indestructible behemoth of a phone. So it spawns images like these if you're watching our video portion, where it's just the Nokia 3310 was seen as this indestructible epitome of ruggedness that is everything today's cell phones are not. So it makes sense for them to enjoy that.
What's Thor doing with he's holding it?
Yeah, that's the Nokia 3310.
Okay.
That's the head of his hammers. The Nokia 3310.
There it is.
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Well, we have time. One more quick story, I think, and then I want to talk about. I don't know.
Alcohol delivery. Let's do that again.
Yeah. If you could be brief and just talk a little bit why, because this is a very long story, why they're dusting the skies with diamonds.
Oh, that's a hard one to condense because it's apparently there's this idea that you could basically fill the atmosphere with diamond dust. Of course, wouldn't that be horribly expensive? And help counter global warming rather. It is a very complex story.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. We can just talk. These are some of the stories that we didn't get to, and that you can see if you just go to the cheat notes, and you can see them for yourselves. Here's another one we didn't have time to get to. Story 13: Researchers create 3D printed medical gear tailored to babies.
That's the good one.
Yeah, that's a good one too. And also, the melting Antarctic ice sheet is heading towards irreversible collapse, according to Gizmodo. This is a happy Friday day, right?
We're all gonna die.
Right. And also another story 15. Sometimes a feel-good documentary about young coders.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, the Code Girl. This is an interesting movie that you can watch. It's a feel-good documentary. And again, you can see it all at computeramerica.com if you didn't have time. Ralph, why don't you just tell us quickly what you're up to and what Autodesk is up to? Supposedly.
Oh gosh, always great stuff going on for us. In fact, early part of next month, and my next time I'll be on with you, it'll be after this has happened. But we have what we call Autodesk University, and this has been going on for many years. It's held in Las Vegas. It's right after Thanksgiving weekend, and it brings together, I think, gosh, somewhere between 10 to 12 or more thousand of Autodesk software users from all over the planet. And as you guys know, Autodesk software is for everything, the future of making things in everything you can imagine. Automobiles, appliances, architecture, engineering, construction, civil engineering, entertainment. We've talked about this many, many times before about how our software, almost every movie that has some kind of super cool CG, computer created graphics and stuff, almost invariably, if you pull up the credits, so to speak, you'll find out that the artists used our software. So we're really, really thrilled and proud of that. Like that Fury Road Mad Max, when we were talked about, I think maybe last show,
Sure.
the CG graphics there. And Craig made a comment earlier about how a film had a lot of crowd scenes and stuff. And Ben, you're right. There's a lot of sophisticated software to simulate crowds.
Right.
And it's very likely that possibly that scene in question did have artificial humans, if you want to call them that. My favorite one in that category, by the way, guys, which is also Autodesk software, World War Z. Whether you like the movie or not, I don't care. But the scene in Jerusalem, the walls where the zombies are all, every one of those were completely generated.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, they were.
No.
Yes, and the zombies running down the street chasing Brad Pitt and the rest of those, all generated. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how sophisticated this. Especially the ones where they're like ants, climbing on themselves to get up the walls of the city of Jerusalem. Phenomenal capabilities. But anyway, Autodesk University, Las Vegas, December 1, 2, and 3, and really exciting. It brings all this talent together from the world. The purpose of the event is for the users to experience our software and hear about the latest trends.
Real quick.
Real
quick, like yes or no. Ralph Bond, do you know if the new Warcraft movie uses any Autodesk software?
It might. I don't know for sure.
All right.
Listen, again, we're out of time. Ralph, I want to thank you so much for being with us here. Coming up Monday, we're going to have Kensington in the first hour. And if you know Kensington, they make all these different devices, accessories for your computer. We're going to have the channel marketing manager, Corey Church, on. And in the second hour, we're going to have a company called Minefields on the program. Listen, everybody have a great weekend. Catch that James Bond movie. Do something fun. And Ben and I will be back with you on Monday, same place, same channel. And again, congratulations to our social media winner of the week, Carrie Edmonds. Congratulations to you. And if you haven't registered for a social media contest, please do so. So we may be calling your name out next week. It's all at computeramerica.com. So until Monday afternoon, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you on Monday.
Have a good one, everyone.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, again, thanks for watching.
I didn't mean to laugh, but I read this Dilbert, and I had not seen it before, and my God, I don't know why. It was just so funny. So, yeah. Had either one of you read this one?
No.
All right. Well, because it's after show and it's only going to take a second, Dilbert, of course, two guys sitting there, lady, it's time for marketing to put the glitter on the software you've created. With my guidance, this will become the premier data backup software. And the two guys, bear in mind, we said it would take 6 months to write it, and you only gave us a month. So, she said, we'll fix the bugs in the next release. Tell me about the features. He said, at this point, all it does is erase your hard drive, unless you're on a network. And she asked, what happens if you're on a network? It erases everybody's disk drives. And heaven help you if you have a modem. It calls all your friends and erases their PCs. We'll call it Quick Protect if you have a sound card that swears at you. I don't know. And that was the wrong time to read it at the very end of the show. It made me laugh.
Oh, that's funny.
It was funny, though.
More behind-the-scenes action, Dilbert at Computer America. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching our live video stream, and Ben and I will see you on Monday. Thanks again, Ralph, and everybody have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.